So in this video, since we already finished the Sylow group as a Sylow theorem, so we can do the classification of finite of the small groups. Okay. So we will do the classification for group order. Let's go to 15. Okay. And so let me just write down the small classification. So we already have is then when G is prime, then G is cyclic, and when G is p squared, then G is abelian. Okay. Indeed, let me just write down. So this means that G is Z mod PZ, and for this one, G is isomorphic to either Z mod P squared Z or Z mod PZ squared. Okay. So if we write down one is trivial. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and so we already have all the prime. So these are all the prime number, and then we have this prime square. So we have p square and p square. Yeah. So the remaining are these numbers. Okay. So by Sylow's theorem. Okay, so let's consider G equals to 2p, where p is odd. So this contains 6 and also 10 and also 14. 2 times 3, 10 is 2 times 5. This is 2 times 7. Okay, so by Sylow, we have subgroup H, which is order P, right? Order P, and there's only one of them because the number of H need to divide 2, and also should be P minus 1, but P is odd, right? So this is at least 3 or something. Oh, maybe let's say so. NH needs to divide 2, and also NH need to be 1 mod P. And yeah, there's no such number as long as so the only solution is NH equals to 1. So the number of Sylow group must be 1. So it means that H is normal in G. Okay. So now let's take H. Okay, so this H is generated by, let's say, element A, and A to the P is 1. Now by the maybe let's do this. So by Sylow theorem, we also have the some number which some element which is order 2, right? So there is the B, which belongs to group G, and the B square is 1. Right, by Sylow theorem. Okay, so what this means is that so definitely B is not in H, right? Because every element has a prime odd order, but B has even order. So by and B is not identity. So since right, so now we already have, let's say, C2. Let me define C2 to be B, where just identity and B, and H is also H is identity A squared up to AP minus 1. So to determine the group structure, the only thing we need to know is that what's the relation of A and B. Okay, what's the relation of A and B? Because these have P elements, this has 2 elements, so the products already have 2 P elements. Okay, so now we can use a normal property of H. So we know that B inverse, basically this is in the BH, B inverse should equals H. So meaning that the B inverse to be A to the K for some K. Okay, my claim is the following. So K is either 1 or -1. Proof. So we can do B inverse. We then do B to the K. Then we get BA to the K B inverse, which is just A to the K squared. Right? Wait. So let me see. So BA B inverse to the K, BA to the K B inverse. Okay, and this is A to the K. Right, so we get A to the K squared. BAK. Okay. So now we can also there's compute this. Okay, so this is let me see. So this is B inverse. So this is BA to the K B inverse, right? And this is A to the K squared. And this is but B squared is 1, right? B squared is 1. So this is A. So A is the same as AK squared. But this is in H. So which means that this K squared must be 1 mod P. Which means that K minus 1, K plus 1 is 0 mod P. But P is prime, right? So P is prime. So either P divides K minus 1 or P divides K plus 1. So if K is 1 plus, so if K is either 1 modulo P or K is minus 1 modulo P. If K is 1 modulo P, meaning that BA B inverse is A, and this is BA B inverse equals to A minus 1. So this guy means that A and B are commutes, right? AB commutes. But if AB commutes, then by the previous results, right? By these previous results, then you have two normal subgroups, and their intersection is identity, and they are equal. Their times their product will generate a whole group. Because BA B inverse actually commutes, right? So if A and B commutes, meaning that all elements commute. So this shows that this is abelian. Okay, so G must be Z mod to Z, there some Z mod PZ. Okay, when this is -1, this is so this tell you that BA being inverse is A inverse. So you can view B as a reflection, and A is a rotation. On 2D. So this it means that this is what? This is just a dihedral group. Okay, so you should prove this by you can just consider the matrix version. So A is cosine 2 pi divided by P, and sine 2 pi divided by P, and minus sine 2 pi divided by P, and cosine 2 pi divided by P, and A will be B will be 0, 1, 1, 0, and it satisfies this relation. Okay, so this proves that the third theorem, when G is 2 times P, then G is either dihedral or abelian. Okay, so this solves all these problems, 10 and 14. So the remaining, remaining is the following. We have so we need to discuss 8 or 12 and 15. So these are complicated, but this is easy. So let's do 15 in this video. So if G is 15, then it's 3 times 5. Right, so here, the number of Sylow group, Sylow 5 divides 3, and N5 is also 1 mod 5, right? So the only solution is N5 equals to 1. And N3 divides 5, and N3 is 1 mod 3. So you have 1, 4, 7, 10, but there's no one which divides 5. Right, so N3 is also 1. So which means that let's say this is H1, this is H2, so these are all normal in G by Sylow 2, and then their products, right? Their products must be 15, because if you take two subgroup products, their number will be H1 times H2 divided by their intersections. But the intersection must also be a subgroup, right? But 3 and 5 are coprime, so there's no common factor in it, so this must be 1. So this shows that H1 and H2 are normal in G, and H1 times H2 are exactly in G. So this shows that G is isomorphic to H1 direct sum H2. So Z mod 3Z and Z mod 5Z. Okay, so this proves that this solves these 15 issues. So these are very simple. We go back here, and these are simple. There's only one group which has order 15. So remainings are 8 and 10, 8 and 12, and which are complicated. So I will just leave exercise. Yeah, but it's fun. Yeah, but it's fun for you to check, for you to play around, to play the proof, play around the classification of order 8 and 12. Okay, see you guys next videos.